in
What's that?
instead of.
Can you hear us?
I was like, oh,
Yeah, I got
maybe
it.
that was it.
Okay, we haven't quite started yet. We're getting ready. I'm gonna move the microphone closer to you.
I was just like,
You guys in council chambers or are you in the little room?
We're in chambers.
All right, perfect.
Can you hear him?
Oh, boy. All right. Do we have the crew here? Are we waiting for one more? Okay. Is that for anybody, Casey?
Hey, Casey.
Packet? Who's that? Is anybody else?
oh yeah, no, that's just that.
That's just extra. Okay. All right. It is 3:30. We'll go ahead and get the Finance and Economic Development Committee moving. So Casey, if I'm doing anything wrong, please feel free to smack me. Oh, wait. I got to do it one time. There we go. Okay. So, all right. So everybody has the agenda. Everybody's got a chance to review packet materials. Right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All
We
right.
have,
Oh, let's go ahead and call.
Gonzalez on.
He is there.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
on.
I
All
just
right.
heard her voice and I didn't hear it again.
All right. And let's call the roll.
Barrow?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Peppelmeyer?
Yes. All right. Any more procedures?
No.
Now we can talk. Okay.
First item.
Okay, so first item, we're going to be discussing the senior discount for the water and sewer program. And so I wanted to put this on the agenda just to look at, see how we can help our seniors more. And so Finance Director Harkey, would you mind kind of just walking us through the spreadsheet real quick here?
Sure. So I've provided a spreadsheet analysis of the current discount, how that would help the residents on the discount program right now, and then what the impact would be to the water and sewer funds. So in the blue box on the top is the minimum, the ready-to-serve charge, and most of those account holders, if not all of them, are typically at the 6,000 gallon bill. So I use that as the baseline and then provide the example of what the current discount, how that impacts them. So the current discount is a flat $30. So that would bring their net bill down to the $214, and that's in the green box. And then below that is the city impact to the water and sewer bills, or sewer funds. So, and that's allocated based on the fee. So the first, the green section is keeping it the flat fee of $30 and how that escalates from 2006 through to 2030. And if you recall, our rates go through 2029. So I kept the rate the same for 29 and 30 for the illustrative purposes.
Okay.
And then the orange box is really converting that discount, the $30 flat discount, to a percentage. And it's close to 12%, so I use that as the baseline there, and you can see the same impacts to the resident, and then the impact to the water sewer fund is very similar to the flat amount in year one. And then I doubled it, for illustrative purposes, from 12% to 24%. And you can see that in the purple box on the bottom, the impact to the residents, and then the impact to the water and sewer funds.
All right, thanks. So discussion?
Yes, thank you. For the 12% discount, that's equal to the $30 monthly?
Yes, roughly, yeah.
Okay. And then you said then we double it? I mean, we're just looking at it. It doubles to 24%.
Yes, just for illustrative purposes and for discussion.
And show me, what's the impact on our,
It's on the.
is it the 54th, 521 for the
Yes,
2026?
correct, yes. To double it would equal about 54,000, and that's allocated between water and sewer.
Oh. Also doubles, it nearly.
And that's for the
Yeah.
year.
We're
for
about
the-
24, so it doubles that
Yes.
27,260.
For the full year, based on current enrollment of 232 seniors or disabled individuals.
So how does that impact our sewer program where people get grant/loans?
It would be 32,000 less annually into the fund. So it is a reduction. It's a minimal reduction.
You say it's a minimal reduction?
Yes, in the overall sewer fund, it is 32,000 out of the over 4 million of revenue coming in.
Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, thank you.
Councilman Gonzalez?
I'll chime in.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, all right, so with this new or adjustment of the senior discount, we have also to look at, with the, I think it's Service Department, looking at a water rate study. And if something happens there where the water rates change for sewer and water on the billing, may there be a service charge and then the actual being done, we have to make sure that this part of a senior discount is acclimated to that, not, and then, so we know what it is. So I think we almost can't table this, but we kind of have to a little bit so that we can acclimate it to what, if it's going to happen for that committee and there's council and voted on. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So would we be able to do this now? And then if the rates do change, if and when we do a water study, just revisit this and adjust it again?
Sure, of course, you'd have to make a recommendation to council.
So, okay.
Well, this is informational only for today, right? We're just showing you where we are today, and if we decide to do an increase, it doesn't necessarily have to be double in it, but it's for consideration.
Yes, I can prepare other scenarios.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I was just
Yeah, I
thinking.
agree with today is like an informational thing only, and it's as we get our feet on the ground and kind of look at everything as a whole with all these new committees and stuff, that we get the things right and make sure we know what each committee is doing, informedly as we move on, and they all integrate together at a certain point, so that we're getting everything meshed together, and we take care of what we need to take care of, so that this discount would be taken care of with whatever happens with the water rate study, if it happens, if it doesn't happen. But it's more information today than anything. If we're going to have like a month and a half.
Yes, if I can speak, I certainly welcome a rate study. It'll take a lot of time to complete that analysis. For an outside party, they'll request, our debt, our capital, our operating expenses, et cetera, in order to build that program. I would love to be able to implement a flat charge for capital and for debt, specifically for sewer, and sort of carve that out, because it is important that we maintain our revenue.
Okay. So for the senior discount, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is, when it comes to helping our seniors, yes, we started with something, so $30 a quarter, which is better than nothing, but it's $10 a month. And so just with inflation, that the way things have been and continue to go, it doesn't, I think, really make a dent in much. So one reason why I asked our finance director to put it into a percentage is so that it does increase over time as everything else does. So instead of having to come back in a year and say, make it from 60 to 65 or 70, it just keeps going up. So I guess let's just go ahead if Councilman Gonzalez and Councilman Barrow, if you want any more scenarios from our finance director, I would say let's go ahead and get those, and maybe by our next meeting, if we can make a formal recommendation to council on some kind of, I feel, increased discount to our seniors. Also, something we do have to consider is at what financial level do we do that at? And so right now, we're at 225%, correct, for our current program?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be, let's see here, for a senior family of two, $48,690, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I think if, that's still not a whole heck of a lot either. So I guess that's one more thing in the scenario is if we can start to look at maybe at 300%, basically $65,000 a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to analyze the impact, though.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know that
Right.
income level.
Okay. So, so Councilman Barrow, Councilman Gonzalez, any thoughts on the actual, like what level you guys would like to see or change or anything?
I would ask our finance director what we can absorb. And like you said, it's kind of nominal when you're talking about a formula. I'm just looking at our sewer program that every dollar we give away, we have less dollar
Agreed,
in our fund, and we have about a 5-year outlook for where we're at now as far as funds go.
agreed. I would just be cautious about bumping it from 225 to 300, only because I just don't know what that impact will be. I don't know how many more individuals would qualify.
Okay.
So I'm
true.
obviously
Okay.
very conservative, so I like baby steps rather than jumping over a couple sections.
Okay.
And then one other question. If we went from the 12 to 24% and still kept it at the 225 AMI, would that work? That would-
I feel comfortable with that,
Okay,
yes.
that's good information. Thank
Okay.
you.
Cool.
So, I'm hearing that, what's the percentage right now
So,
you're introducing?
so right now, the current poverty level benchmark is 225%, which would be $48,690 per year would be the threshold. And so we were just talking about, what it would cost to increase that number, and our finance director said she'd feel comfortable with the, basically going to 24%, doubling what we have, but staying at the 225% threshold.
In full disclosure, I feel uncomfortable with any unknown, for the record.
Come on, right?
So as of right now, it's $30 per quarter is what the 225 people that actually are in or somewhere around there in the program for senior discount, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so what if we introduce something where it was, because we don't know what the minimum is going to be eventually, but, with the, in the next 6 months to a year, we're going to do a water rate study, and we can revamp this entire water, how we charge for water and sewer. What if we did for seniors like a 25 or 50% of what the service charge or minimum would be cost, which is 6,000 gallons? So what if we did just for the seniors that qualified for a program? Would that be equitable for them or for the finance director to even look at?
Like all seniors, or?
No, only seniors that qualify. Qualify that you already have right now, and then you would have more that would actually. We'd have to revamp, continue as a senior. I think all seniors in general would be fine because they've served their time in their community and paid their taxes over time. I think that any senior, we have like 40% of seniors in our community, and that's a small. Only the service charge, what is labeled right now, which is only 6,000 gallons, they would get that percentage, not the overall bill, just the percentage of relief. You know what I mean?
So you want to give all seniors, not just the seniors falling underneath the 225%?
Well, that's where we have to talk about this a little bit before the water rate study happens in general. But yes, I would, I've talked to many people in Maumee, and people shouldn't be punished because they've saved their money and did this, or they did this, and they've come on. Everyone comes from everywhere, and it doesn't matter about it's about age. It's, at that point in time in their life, no matter what their income or how much money they have, they should be taken care of in our community. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay. All right, so Councilman Gonzalez, we have a citizen comment. Carla, go ahead.
So my question is, prior to going AMI, all seniors were eligible for it was a small discount. Do we know what that number was then, and I don't remember how many years ago, versus the quantity number now, and would that help you in figuring out what your perspective for more discount.
Yeah, I can look that up. It was probably 22 or 23 when it was, I think it was 3%. Yeah. So it was a much lower percentage, but more people qualified.
Okay. And was that just age?
Age and disability.
Thank you. I would disagree with Councilman Gonzalez. This program was put in place for the people who financially need it, and it's not that it's a lot of money, but it was a starting point, and it's what we could afford at the time. And we need to be, fiscally vigilant about what we're doing. It's not a handout across the board. I have some friends that are taking advantage of the discount. And I said, really? I'm taking it if I can get it. Good for you. Which that's their own little thing. But the whole idea is so we can help the people who don't have that type of income. And yeah, I'm not into punishing people who have done well in life, been fortunate, lucky, made good decisions, whatever it may be. But we still have to look at the citizens who need that help. I know quite a few of them. I've been here when they've come during the sewer programs and discussion to them, and they literally don't have enough money to get through the month. So I would like to keep it in that respect. Thank you.
Okay.
And respectfully, Councilman Barrow, that it's literally it's the seniors that are affected by this the most, not the unfortunate, because how we are in Maumee, it's not necessarily there. It's 40% of our community that are almost about a year to 2 years of being removed from our community after living here for 20, 30, 40 years of paying into this. That a little bit of a reward is a relief. 50% of the service fee or the minimum, which as of right now is $246, $48 per quarter. That's $120, $123, $124. That's all it is per quarter. Because they're on fixed incomes, they cannot afford to be in Maumee as they lived in the last 20, 30, 40 years. A $30 discount per quarter, as per Mayor McDowell when it was introduced last year, when it went up from $10, literally just covers the raise that just happened a few weeks ago. It does nothing. We have to focus on making sure our seniors are taken care of to as much as we can and still absorb and figure out a way to pay for the water and sewer rates. As a relief for right now, until the water rate study is done, we can revamp this when it comes time to figuring out if we do a service charge that is a bulk service charge later on that everyone pays, and then the actual, but as of right now, we have to do something to give a little relief, even if it's a quarter or 2 quarters for this next year or 3 quarters. It's just a little bit of money. It will go a long way.
Right. And that's what
for the residents.
Okay.
That's just me. I'm just thinking of, them first before us.
Isaiah?
Councilman Gonzalez.
Paying whatever.
Mayor Zisk has a comment.
Okay, it's clear there's not going to be any sort of consensus on this today, and some more information is needed. I would make a suggestion that we get some more information and talk about it another time. We know we have strong opinions, but right now, we've got a lot to get through. I would suggest that you would table it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
Just to put it in perspective, we're issuing about 50,000 in payments tomorrow for reimbursement of the internal corrections.
okay. So I guess let's do this. Can we get numbers, Finance Director Herky, on the 250% threshold?
No, because I can't.
Oh, that's right, because we don't know how many.
Yeah, I don't know how many more people would
Okay.
qualify. I mean, I do feel like that's a baby step, and it would include more people.
Right.
And I think
That's what we're going for. Okay. All right.
the impact would be, I'm assuming, reasonable.
Okay. All right. So we've had some good discussion. Let's go ahead. We will table this. We'll keep working on this, but I think we all agree that we want to help people out at least a little bit, as much as humanly possible, but the question is always how much. So, all right.
Okay. Was there any other scenarios then you wanted me to pull together?
I like the 24%. I think, I think we can probably handle that. And again, if we can, I know you don't have an answer, but seeing, if we can capture a few more people with that threshold, that would be great. So, okay. All right, next item on the agenda, we have the sewer remediation program amendment. All right.
Yeah, I'll chime in because I introduced at the council meetings that I thought this was kind of taken care of before it was passed by council. What it is just defining what household income is per age. So I have two, or there's not just me, but I have two under the age of 26.
Hey, Councilman
Still have
Isaiah?
an address.
Isaiah.
Isaiah, before you go forward, since it affects you personally, I don't think you can be involved in the discussion of this.
No, I'm just thinking, to me, it doesn't really affect me. I'm just saying in general. I guess I would say it that way. I don't really care either way.
Well, I think at the council meeting, you mentioned it impacts your
Correct.
household, so
Directly.
you should avoid having any conversation about this as part of this.
Yeah,
committee.
okay, I'm sorry. I
That's all
redacted what I
right.
said.
It's okay.
In general, what it is 18 and over in a household should not affect any family because they do not pay taxes. They don't. They get most of them. Well, they pay taxes, but they don't affect what pays taxes to a household, that household income. So if
Okay.
anyone has anybody that is a certain age or whatever.
Okay.
Isaiah.
All right.
You have to abstain from any conversation about this because you said that it would personally affect your household at a council meeting. That's an ethics violation. Okay? So you can listen in, but unfortunately, it is because of that. Okay? All right, I'll put you back on speaker, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right. So, so the remediation amendment, was that in the,
No, I did not have anything prepared for that.
oh, okay.
Is that what we're discussing? What Councilman Gonzalez has brought that point up?
So yeah, so.
So the
correct me
current
on what
policy.
The amendment was.
The current policy says in the different thresholds to qualify for reimbursement, the grant loan portion,
Yes.
household income. So I think Councilman Gonzalez was looking for some language that said just the homeowners
Instead of occupants.
instead of
Yeah,
household.
but, yeah, I had that in my mind too, to talk about. I mean, if it's a couple, then there's, two people living in the house, they may or may not be married. How do we decide that income? I agree with somewhere I heard that if you have your children of age and they're working and
Right.
living in the house,
Yeah.
that should not be considered as your household income. Good luck getting that,
Right. So.
No, I agree with that portion of it.
No, absolutely. So can we say only, oh gosh, only adult occupants? I mean, a lot of college kids have the mailing address as mom and dad's though. So I guess how would we,
Based on, based on homeowner,
They're older than.
oh, so
on
maybe,
on the deed holder?
or anybody over like, let's say the age of 25? Because that would take care of kids going to college and then,
There's a lot of 25-year-olds that move back in with the parents.
well,
Then they should be.
then after 25, if their mailing address is the house, then, yeah, their income is applicable.
Just to
Oh, guess so.
Hi, everybody. Something to think about with that, often some people have their adult children living with them or adult relatives living with them because they might need the support. That's something to think about when you put an age on it. It might be that they have someone who is required to live with them.
Right.
I just wanted to put that out there, and
No,
unless you're
sure.
going to have some sort of way for them to be able to get rid of that, I would suggest either
Right.
kind of all or nothing. Either you have it be the people who are responsible for the bills or not,
Like deed holder or mortgage holder,
something like
something of that nature. We could talk about that, though,
Right.
discuss
So,
that and talk with Alan on what,
Yeah, so I think we need to,
what levels we can do.
I mean, there could just be one person on the deed, and there's.
Or if they have a
like-
lease with somebody,
Yeah,
but
right.
like, for example, there was a time when I know a relative of mine had to move in with other relatives because they were elderly. They had income because they had a pension. They also had dementia.
Right.
So might be something to think about. The more we try to narrow it down, the more we try to put it in
Finite
such a
too
way
much.
that you're just going to add more and more paperwork and more exceptions and more of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, Alan, do you think we can start to look at how to filter this down a little bit more? Okay,
I've been doing some research on this,
please.
okay? I found out just recently, children from the age of 18 to 25, 26, their parents are giving them about $1,800 a month for them to live either in the house or outside of the house. That tells us a lot. My concern here is going back to simple basics. Whose name is on the title? Whose name is on the mortgage loan? Whose income was figured on the mortgage loan so that they could own the home and put their name on the title? How many kids do you know that truly help their parents with utilities or house payments? Not my house. And yes, there are people out there that are not legally married or are common law, where only one name is on the title and the other one's not, and they make $300,000 a year. You're going to get that in any program. You know, when do we, as a city, creating these rules and regulations, when do we at a point say, uncle, let's keep it simple, let's push back on them, that it's on your honor? As you said, you had friends that are getting the discount. We qualify for the discount, but I didn't do it because I can afford it. Not would. So I ask that you try to keep it as simple as possible. Keep it to the ownership of the home, because they are the person liable for everything in that home. Not who else lives there, but who owns the home. They're the ones that get sued. They're the ones that get pulled into any kind of court battle. That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think we should table this one as well and just get more information on, you know, what we can and can't do. And again, the KISS method is never a bad thing. So, all right. So moving on to, we have a policy introduction. So this is for, looks like we have some proposed updates to our basic financial policies. Finance Director Harkey, do you want to walk us through highlights and big changes and all sorts of stuff?
Sure, yeah. So I've been working on these for a while, and this is part of, this is really part of best practices. GFOA recommends best practices. It's part of, it should be part of our budget book. So there's a few new policies in here. The first one being the fund balance, oops, I misspelled reserve. Okay. Fund balance reserve policy. This answers the question of how much is too much for spending. It addresses our major funds. GFOA recommends having a reserve balance, and there's multiple ways to accomplish that. I prefer to address that at budgeting, hold back a minimum amount, essentially not to budget, of the fund balance, to ensure that operations can continue if something was to happen, or it allows a cushion for economic downturn or unexpected expenses, that sort of thing. So that is in the fund balance reserve policy, and you're welcome to review GFOA's website. They provide guidance of what should be in those policies. I reviewed GFOA as well as other cities' policies and drafted for your review are the recommended policy here. The next one is the,
Just have a question.
yeah,
Well, I want to just, as we go through these,
Mm-hmm.
are you recommending, or GFOA recommends, to lower your fund balance? Don't-
No, what this answers is how much is too much as far as spending, and how much we should hold back and reserve for, like I said, those unexpected expenses or economic downturns, basically to provide for a continuance of operations if something was to happen. And these aren't drastic reserves, 2, 3, 4 months, depending on the fund.
Okay.
Well, I was just concerned about the higher the fund balance, it's like having a higher credit rating, if those who may not know. I think everybody in the room understands that, this group does. We have a very high rating, if you will, because of our fund balance, and that's what would allow us to do these large projects at under 2% loan. for the
No,
funds.
and in fact, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the rating agencies look for these policies to be in place when they're rating us as a positive. So no, this isn't holding, and that's a good point that you bring up. It's a balance of not reserving too much to hold high balances, especially when we're talking about our water and sewer fund and charging our user fees for that. This is a good, sound budgeting practice to, again, to plan for emergencies, contingencies, unexpected expenses in the future.
No, I'm all for that. I think that's a good idea to have something etched in stone, if you will, but my concern is, like you pointed out, that I just want to make sure that we keep our credit, if you will, status looking good with a healthy balance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So would these funds stay, the reserves stay in the fund?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so to that point, there are multiple ways to reserve a fund balance, a line item. Some entities budget a line item, like 3% of the entire operating expense would be an appropriation line, and it's just not spent. Some entities use a separate fund entirely labeled reserve fund balance. And then I am proposing that we address a reserve with a minimum fund balance after we look at the estimated beginning fund balance, revenues, and then expenditures going out to make sure that that estimated ending fund balance is equal to, depending on the fund, 2, 3, 4 months of operating.
Okay. So this may not be able to be done in a city budget, but is there any way we could put reserves in an interest-bearing account?
Oh, everything's in interest bearing,
Okay.
except for our primary checking, which we keep at a lower balance.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we earn about right now about $2 million in interest and dividends.
Cool. Any other questions on that? Councilman Gonzalez? Is he there?
Can you hear us?
Bueller?
I only heard part of it because I'm so far from the microphone that I can only hear certain people in the meeting. I think that's why I couldn't hear Ellen earlier give me advice on the last topic to recuse and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I can only hear part of it. So what I'm going to need is, I mean, I can still stay in the meeting, but I can't really give too much information or whatever because I can't hear part of what's going on.
Oh, okay.
If that works for Alan, I mean, I can only hear part of it. I can only hear Gabe and Casey, and I can hear a little bit of Dave, but I can't hear everyone else in the meeting.
Want me to dial, let me call you and I can hold my phone up, because in the past I've done that. And it seems to be a better
He's
connection,
going to call you on his cell
but I don't have.
Okay.
to see if that helps better.
Oh, what's his
Okay.
number?
Okay, thank you. Yep.
1 second. You know his number?
Well, let's keep things moving, though. So, okay, so that makes sense on reserves. Reserves are always good. How about the procurement policy?
So the procurement policy and the capital asset policy, those are in existence, but I separated them. It makes sense to separate them. And then I've made some revisions as well as there's been some legislative changes here with Chapter 103, as well as there's an auditor estate bulletin addressing sales tax. So I made that change. And then as we're, implementing these items, sometimes clarifications necessary too. So I've highlighted those changes. you have any specific questions about the procurement policy?
Well, Isaiah, we're talking about the procurement policies right now.
I didn't hear what anyone said, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Jennifer was just saying that she separated a few things, and it just sounds like we're going with good accounting practices, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Okay. All right, and then next section, looking at the change orders. Lots of highlight there.
Yeah, so there's lots of, I apologize, there's not page numbers on here, but yes, the heading with the appropriations, contract authority, and change orders, all of that is in response to the changes that were made recently to Chapter 103.
Okay.
At the bottom of the page, you'll see private property highlighted. That was also a discussion regarding Chapter 103, and that instead of putting it in the 103 ordinance, that it's implemented in as a policy. So this is work done by a contractor while they're in the middle of a city contract, like paving someone's driveway or sidewalk.
Okay. And so you said having this in just our policies and procedures, we don't have to do like a resolution or an ordinance?
Well, I would like all of these to be passed as an ordinance.
Okay.
And then we can revisit them periodically.
Perfect.
But when
Okay.
Chapter 103 was discussed, it was the desire of the committee then not to have any, like the mention of the private property work in there. And so some of this language I pulled from a draft that Alan had drafted about exceptions of work on private property, like on the lateral, for example, or
Right.
if it's because of this, the city's fault, of course.
So that's still in there. If a city damaged somebody's property, then
Yes.
we're not going to pass something that ties the city's hands to fix it at that point.
Yes, you can see except work which is necessary to restore property to its pre-loss
Okay.
condition.
So if we screw up, we fix it.
Yes.
Excellent, good.
What was it said? I'm sorry, Gabe. Would you say that if they damage property, they don't have to fix it?
No, they do. It's just
Okay.
the contractor can't start doing something the homeowner wanted to hire him for while they're there on city. It's another contract, another day. But if we
Yeah,
mess up,
okay, got it.
if we mess the property up when we're there, we have to fix it.
Yeah, we
Well-
get to fix it. Not contractor can't do it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Perfect. The way you said it, I thought it was said the different way. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Good.
So then the next page is just a few items to clean up, just offer clarification. On the bottom of the next page, sales tax, that was the Auditor of State bulletin that I mentioned.
Okay.
Hotel excise tax, we have a problem with employees, supervisors reserving hotel rooms and then not getting the tax exemption forms and letting the hotel know, and that's pretty expensive too, so.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep. So then it starts the capital asset planning and management policy. The red is just some clarification that I added.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is a work in progress. I started working on this in May, actually.
Okay.
The next one, the vehicle management and replacement policy, is just a companion document to the capital asset policy, and it helps with planning. The next one on the bottom of the next page, disposal of personal property. This isn't anything new. It's from Chapter 103, or excuse me, 105. I just put it into normal terms.
We like English.
Yes. The next item is grant policy. This is another one that that I was able to utilize GFOA for. And if you read the best practices for GFOA, it really mimics the requirements that they're looking for. And this is important because a lot of times I feel like I repeat myself quite a bit with staff that I need to know about a grant, and it's not me being controlling, it's me doing my job, because I still have to budget for a grant. No matter if we get $1 million, if it's 100%, no match, I still have to budget for it for both the revenue and the appropriation side. And then additionally, with our audit, if it's federally funded, then there's an annual report for that too. It's called the CFA report, which could initiate an additional audit requirement. So that's why this is important.
Jennifer, that hasn't been included before, or?
No, it's a new policy, the grant policy. Mhm.
Okay. And once again, like, anybody in the city can find a grant, bring it to you and us, and,
Yeah, I mean, the first step would be talking to, their supervisor, and then the appropriate director, certainly. And then in the grant policy, I have that it needs to go to mayor, city administrator, finance director. So then we're all aware of it, and we can all plan accordingly.
okay. All right. Councilman, any questions?
None for me.
Councilman Gonzalez, any questions?
I'm good.
All right, so I guess, is there anything else that you need to work on in this before we start to make it an ordinance?
No, unless there's some feedback.
Okay. I was able to review it. I like everything in it. Just, again, putting it in black and white. Here's what we're doing. Okay.
Are you talking just that specific, this topic?
Yeah,
Or
just
for
this
the-
topic here. Yeah, the
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
finance policies.
And
Okay.
that had run through our law department already, you said, Jennifer? Ellen?
No, he's not seen the revisions, but
I'd like to have that reviewed
Yeah.
prior,
Okay.
by our law director.
All right.
But
So,
it looks good.
okay. So at this point, do we make a motion to have the law department review this, or procedure-wise, what do we do?
Ellen, we just refer to you?
Correct.
Okay.
Just telling me to review it. You don't need a formal motion or anything.
Okay, great. All right, so there's that, and then, all right, so last item on the agenda is the 2026 capital budget.
Oh, sorry, can we, I just want to circle back to the strategic goals. That is part of GFOA best practices as well. And this is just a very rough start, or not rough start, very preliminary start to move forward with the budget and ensure that our capital purchases are in alignment with some strategic goals. I know there's some conversation about developing a robust strategic plan. This is just very preliminary, so I would like to incorporate this too in our annual budget documents.
Okay,
And then the other item was the facade improvement grant. There was conversation earlier, late fall, about revising that to have some parameters to score applicants. So the mayor and I chatted about it. I asked if I could work on it as I see the financial impact, and she gave me the go-ahead. So that's kind of where it went, where that developed from.
okay, so would this be under policy introduction still?
Yes, yep.
Gotcha, all right. All right.
All right.
Any
Is this
discussion?
where we would discuss the items they have on the program's purpose? There's a couple of questions I had, and I don't know if this is a proper venue for it.
For the
but-
master plan or for the facade improvement?
Well, I'm not sure if this is part of the master plan, but facade, it's under facade, I'm sorry, yeah. Facade improvement grant program.
Okay,
I don't know how we got to expand for porches expansion. I understand the things of public, for the public, it has that use of it, the right of way, for example, Dale's Bar. patio, things of that nature, other businesses that have taken advantage of it. I don't see how we stretch it to, and again, this may not be the place for it, to expand to people's porches on their private homes. And
I
then-
did review a few other municipalities' programs, and that does include a residential portion, and that's specifically why porches, patios, gathering spaces are mentioned here, because that's included in the master plan. So that's where that came from.
Okay.
Okay, well, that'll be for more discussion, because I would like to understand that more fully
Right.
from how it came forward. And the other question I have is the maximum grant award up to $10,000 per property. Was there a cap before? And I think if there was it $60,000?
It was 60, yes, with a payback per month up to 5 years, and then the loan was forgiven after that, which we have several in repayment right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, my question is, how did it go from 60 to 10? What sort of,
It was just a conversation about, well, why did it start at 60? I don't know. To bring it down to offer availability to more individuals perhaps, or more companies, more businesses, with it being such a larger amount of 60, keeping in mind available
and I
appropriations.
don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And I would like to maybe have that revisited to maybe be part of that conversation to see what would our outlay be for the entire year, per year? Is there a cap? upon
Yes, that would be a question for the committee. So right now, the only thing I have budgeted in '26 are the ones that are already approved, so like the chocolate shop.
Right,
and
which
then
we
the-
talked about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if somebody wanted to apply right now, didn't we kind of put that on hold at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
whoever's application was in,
Right,
we honor that.
Yeah.
I think that was a conversation.
right. Okay, that sounds familiar.
And then to investigate and to see what we have to.
Okay.
And you can see the language in here says, subject to annual appropriations, too.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So this, I definitely think we need to talk a lot and think hard about. Myself, I think that, the grant is great, but I feel that businesses and people need to fully repay. Like, I don't think we should be essentially forgiving a ton of the grant. Now, that was more effective or more in play at the 60,000. 10,000, that's, I think, more doable for a lot of people. But yes, so when it comes to, again, facades, making neighborhoods look better, things like that, I'm all for doing that for residents, but I think, again, like, I just had to put a porch on my house because my foundation was caving in, and it was, all of that $10,000. And so yes, I think we need to talk about what can get done with that amount. Do we want it to be more, less? But yes, revamping needs to be done, but definitely think we need to keep discussing this and talking with you, finance director, and seeing what we want to do with this. Councilman Gonzalez, any questions on your part?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about this more and limit residential compared to the commercial part, because you can't, me being what I do is, I know what it costs to do a porch and, but how far do we go with a porch? Because anyone's, you buy a tile that costs, $50 a square foot, or you can buy a tile that costs $2. It's how much do we want to appropriate for certain things, which needs to be discussed further. You know what I mean?
Well, I think for that, that's up to the resident. It's just the city's going to contribute X dollars, and, whatever you want that to go towards is up to you.
Yeah.
But it obviously would need to go through design review if you're in the uptown area, all sorts of fun stuff.
And legally, it becomes more difficult to do residential.
Well, as our sewer thing, sewer program is there's a cap on certain things. The sewer program only pays for a certain amount of what needs to be done. You know, what is afforded on a house to do a porch is the same thing is you know, it's the same realm almost. It's all relative. A cap has to be put on for everything, and we don't want to overspend just because of overindulgence by a homeowner. We don't want to pay for everyone's persona. We want to pay for, you know, a little bit, but they have to you know, invest as well. You know, we want to invest in the community as long as they invest in us as well. That's where we have to be at.
Well, and I think I would like to see this going more towards eyesores, siding, fascias of roofs falling off. You know, I think, you know, that money can go a long way as opposed to, again, improving or putting on a porch because that's what the master plan says, right?
Yeah, I mean, the template is here, so whatever priorities council wants to implement, I mean, that's up to you guys, and there's a scoring rubric, so you can certainly modify that. But I think the point was to bring the cap down, so that the grant can be utilized for more people, more homeowners or business owners, whatever, and then actually create a metrics to how to evaluate those rather than just giving the max to any applicant that comes in. Like, what is the purpose? What is the goal?
Right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I think it definitely needs to be looked at a little bit more. I think, I just feel like 10,000 might be low, but still it's from here to there on to the top, you know, from 10 to 60. I think 60 was a lot. But also, I mean, we'll have to really look at it, like which homes, I mean, you're talking about siding and things of that nature, which I have trouble putting public money into a private home, but if we did that, if say we did that, are we putting money into an investor's home, into a rental property? I mean, there's just a lot of that to do, but like Alan alluded to, the more you get onto a private property, I mean, look what the hoops we had to jump through to fix the sewers because we consider them a nuisance.
Right.
And there's some houses in Maumee that were nuisances, by the way.
Right. Most of the communities that do improvements like that have a, you know, community development block grant program communities, you know, that have income limitations, that have federal or state funding for those type of programs.
Okay.
You know, Maumee's not eligible for that. So I don't know how you do it privately without getting into the public-private, you know, issues that you can't, you know, I said, like Gabe indicated, for the sewers, you know, we get into nuisance issues to get around some of that and to deal with that. But for porches or other improvements on private property, it's going to be more difficult.
Okay. Well, I think we should let Alan investigate that further as what we can do for private residences. I mean, the basic idea of grandma or grandpa who are on, again, the fixed income at the poverty levels, someone who has a disability who can't work, you know, I think those are things that I would really like to see us try to help with if we can, because, yeah, I mean, siding needs replaced, things need fixed, and if that's the eyesore on the block, if there's any way we can help out with that, then yes, you know, I'd love to see us try to. But to your point, Gabe, you know, for an investment property, I mean, yeah, again, I own investment properties, not in Maumee, but yeah, like to have a grant to fix my rental property, no, I don't think so.
No, right.
So,
Just
yeah.
one of those little herrings.
Yep.
Red herrings.
Yeah, so any of those parameters could be put into place. Youngstown and Tiffin both have a residential program, for examples, so.
Okay. Could we get copies of those to look at,
I can
see what
send you
they
the
do?
link, yep.
Great.
I mean, Tiffin, I think I looked, is a community block grant community, so again, we're not that, so.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion on this? All right. And then last item, the 2026 capital budget. So what were we discussing on that?
So we're still gathering a lot of quotes and estimates, and I think it would be best if I send an electronic link for your review. That way you can sort, per item, per dollar amount per fund. And then that'll give us an opportunity to finish compiling a few quotes and estimates.
Okay.
So I'll send that out shortly.
Okay,
Yep, we're getting there.
cool. Any questions on this?
Yeah. I'll add, Jennifer, when does the budget have to be approved for the year, please?
March 31st.
Okay, perfect. So we have, what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think we would like to introduce it at the next council meeting preliminarily, but I will still continue to be updating it, just to let you know.
Okay. Yep. I just want, like last year, what happened was the disarray or whatever happened. I just want to make sure that we're adamant about public information, people being there, and what, I just don't want to happen. That happened last year.
Yeah, certainly once council's had an opportunity to review, we can make that public. Like I said, it's a little easier with the program that I'm using. It's difficult to print off a document of this scale, so the best way is to look at it electronically. So after we've had a chance to revise it a bit, we can make that available to the public when you guys are ready.
And Jennifer has printed those off before, but you can't see them.
I love that 4-point
Yeah,
font,
yeah.
it's
She
great.
uses black thread font.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the operating budget that was presented in December, and there's been a few modifications, but nothing major. So that was discussed at a couple of finance meetings and a council meeting. So the largest items right now are the capital items.
Okay. And then one other thing, I know the idea has been thrown around, is do we want to have one town hall open meeting for citizens to review it and give us their input?
Oh, you're asking me?
Hey,
Oh, wow.
either one of you.
I think we have an awful lot of meetings here, and, I mean, if we call a meeting, of course, we'd be there. But I think we're pretty transparent in everything here and everything online. People come here and talk and ask the meetings. I mean, they ask questions about specific things that we're doing. I'm not sure the purpose of the town hall meeting, other than you're going to have a lot of people are going to be asking so many questions that may not be pertaining to what the meeting is about. It's like our meetings our business meetings here. People bring things up about things that are happening in their backyard or their neighbor or whatever. Nothing to do with the business part of the meeting.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
I'll chime in that, if you want to create another meeting for public information, I'm game for it, but we are still trying to dictate other committee meetings and another like park meeting, commission meeting. There's a lot of meetings like Councilman Barrow said, that we have a lot of meetings. In maybe a month and a half, we can start doing more of the town hall meetings once we get our grounds of what meetings we have right now. We don't know where they're all scheduled at because they're all getting established in the next month. So I would table that for another day, but eventually they possibly would be great to have.
Dave, were you talking about a town hall meeting here in this setting?
Yeah.
Well,
just-
in general, I'm saying in
Okay.
general, we have too many meetings that, like today, the safety committee meeting got established for
Okay, so-
scheduled. We don't know where these other meetings that we already have committees and then commissions. I have a park and rec, commission.
Right, okay,
Has to be
so,
established. Have our first, other stuff. So we don't know.
okay, so,
We have these,
so instead of an in-person meeting, I guess, how can we be, again, transparent with the community and give them an opportunity to provide input? Can we do something on the city website?
Yes.
So maybe let's, once we get the preliminary capital, we review it as a council the first time and everything, and then maybe we can put that on the website and then just have like a comment, email type thing that people can review it and ask questions, and if, we can give as much response as we can. If we get 8,000 questions, that's going to be hard, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Does that make
how-
sense?
Yeah, I don't know how we would do comments, but you're shaking your head, Nancy. Yeah. Yeah.
Or just put a link for emails and stuff like that. But again, just to give the public a chance to
Well,
talk
Dave,
to us. And
I wasn't, sorry, I wasn't discrediting,
oh, no, I know, I get it. I get it.
But I
yeah.
thought in this setting, yes, but I wouldn't want to do a big venue.
Right.
It just.
Oh,
here-
not
Here's fine.
Not the high school gym. No. No. So,
Because you can't see where the tomatoes are coming from.
right.
Okay,
So-
we're good.
Okay. So let's go ahead and investigate that, seeing what we can do there.
Yeah, I can definitely put it online when you guys are ready.
Beautiful. Cool.
Good.
All right. Any
Yep.
other questions on anything else?
Good.
Good.
Move to adjourn? Is that what you're going to ask
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
for? I move that we adjourn to the next scheduled meeting.
Mr. Gonzalez seconded that motion.
I think he did.
Yeah, second it. Yep.
All right.
Mr. Barrow?
All right, let's call the
Yes.
roll.
Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Peppelmeyer?
Yes.
So adjourned.
All right. 1 hour exactly. How about that?
Hey, Isaiah, just so you know, it's like 80.